All right, lads. Welcome back to me podcast, Cheaper Than Therapy. Mick Thomas here. Thanks so much for liking, subscribing, for coming back, for re-listening and sharing. I appreciate you. As always, if you have any messages, concerns, or comments, do send them to my Instagram page, my IG, at Mick Thomas Comedy, and I will be sure to get back to you. All right, so let's dive right into it there. I guess there's no kind of easy way of saying this, and I wasn't going to talk about it really, but my dad died last week, and it sounds weird to kind of say out loud into this device, but yeah, he passed away from cancer. How's he going to make this funny? Oh, shit. Yeah, it's funny. He died on a Monday in America, but Tuesday in Ireland. So I guess when my dad died, he time traveled, right? Because of the time difference. In Ireland, they have him recognized as dying on a Tuesday, last Tuesday, whereas I have him dying on a Monday. So that's confusing, right? That's confusing for anniversary cards. Isn't it, really? Yeah, my dad had cancer for 3 years, and I don't know if anybody here has ever had cancer. Hope you never do. Or if you've lost a family member or friend to cancer, it's a motherfucker, isn't it, really? Like, it really is a motherfucker. And, it kind of just, it really just kind of destroys the person, and it's just, then you feel bad because you're kind of like, all right, just go. Just fucking stop. This is ridiculous. You know what I mean? I always thought if I get any kind of cancer, if I get any cancer, I'm just done. I'm not going to fight it. I'm just going to go fucking, I'm out of here. Let me pack my shit. I'm going to go to a beach in Thailand and I'll die there. I'll die back in Thailand. Fuck it. Or some nice place. I'm not going to stick around and fight and all that bullshit. It's not worth it. To watch this man go through that for 3 whole fucking years of just fighting, and then it would clear up, right? It would clear up and like, yeah, it's gone, but come back in a few months and we'll do a checkup. What would happen? It turns up on a different place. It's an asshole. Cancer is a fucking asshole. Let me tell you that right now, if you don't already know it. Cancer, you're a fucking asshole. Yeah, and I knew he was going to pass away. So I went back to Ireland about 3 weeks ago. And you remember that, right? You remember my rant about Aer Lingus. How those fucking assholes behaved. And then my Hertz rent-a-car and all that stuff. How that shit happened. And I didn't really talk about it that much on the podcast, but I went back basically to kind of say goodbye to me dad. Right? And that's a weird thing to do, to know you're going to say goodbye to somebody. And I was kind of lucky in a way that, because a lot of people don't get that opportunity, right? A lot of people don't. I hear a lot of people say, I never got to say goodbye, and it never impacted me. I always kind of thought like, all right, I mean, is that the end of the world, right? You see it in movies, TV, or someone might even say it to you, and I never got a chance to say goodbye. And I'm great. And you know what, though? I never saw the importance of that. And then I was talking to a buddy of mine, comedian Des Bishop. Name dropper! And and Des was, Des had lost both of his parents. He lost his father a few years ago and then his mother more recently. And he was saying, Mick, look, when you just go back and talk to him. Just go back and get whatever's off on your mind, and because if not, it'll haunt you forever. And a part of me was like, yeah, you're full of shit. That can't really be the case. But then again, I was thinking, like, who the fuck am I, right? Who am I to turn and say, like, that's not how you're going to feel when someone went through it? And then I had another friend, one of my best friends back in Ireland, Niall Reck, owner of Graffitia. By the way, if you want to get a great website, check out Graffitia. He's not a sponsor of this show, but he's a really good friend. And he told me he lost both his parents over his life too, and he said, "Look, go say goodbye to your dad. That's what you want. But I think what Niall was saying, if I misunderstood him, and if you're listening, Niall, I'm sorry if I misunderstood, but I think Niall kind of had the story of he said everything through his kids. He would bring his kids up and he was like, hug your grandfather. Hug him harder. Tell him you love him. Tell him you love him more. Right? I think he did all that through his own children. That he but I think Niall got a chance to say goodbye to his dad, and when I went back over to Ireland, I got a chance to say goodbye to mine, and I don't think my brothers and sisters got a chance. Right? So what I will say, if you have someone in your life that you think you're not going to be around for, or you think they're on the way out, they're checking out, their bags are packed, I'm ready to go. Just say toodaloo. Say toodaloo. Say, all right. Cheers. See you later. All right. Do that. Do that, because I went to see, I went back to Ireland, I was there for 10 days, I think. And I was there, I spent all morning, I would go home, get some lunch, and I would go back, and I would spend a few hours in the evening. And a lot of time he was just sleeping, because he was very weak. But then some days he wake up, he's fucking like, I'm like, what's wrong? What's going on with this guy? This guy's got no, he's not fucking dying. There's nothing wrong with this guy. He's up laughing, cracking jokes. And, and I thought that, he's around, he's going nowhere. This guy's going nowhere. And so, but some days it would be bad. Out of the 10 days or so I was there, and he would just sleep all day. So I would just leave, And then on the last day was a Sunday, and I was leaving for Ireland, and I thought, let me go up really early in the morning. Let me go up at 8 o'clock in the morning, because he'll be awake, and we had 24-hour visiting rights, where a lot of hospitals are kind of on, everyone else kind of have time schedules, right? You have your timetable to visit the sick. Visiting hours, holy fuck, the timetable. And I went up at 8 o'clock, so we had 24-hour visiting rights. And I went into the room, and he was awake, and I knew I had to leave because I had to get a flight. And, my buddy, Tommy Farrell, was dropping me to the airport, to Dublin Airport. And I said, let me go talk to the man. Let me go say this goodbye thing. And so I had a chat with him, right? That's between me and him. That's between me and him, and I guess what was said. And I walked out of the room. I walked down the corridor. I said goodbye to him, and I gave him a kiss on the forehead, which he was like, queer. There's no way he thought I wasn't gay, but so I walked down the hall. I went outside the door and I sat down, and I had a moment to myself. And then I walked back to my mother's house from the hospital, and that was I don't know, maybe not even 15-minute walk. Everywhere in Wexford town in Ireland, you walk everywhere. Everyone walks everywhere. So then I walked home, walked to my mother's, and and I kind of had my moments on the way home. And that was it, and that was the last time. That was the last time I saw him alive, and I got a chance to talk to him. I got a chance to say goodbye, right? And despite what he may have said, I may have said, he knows how I feel, and that was it. That was good enough, right, for me. And I left, and then I was in the airport, waiting to board the flight, and I was texting one of my sisters and one of my brother, and I go, look, if you get a chance, I know you're not going to be comfortable doing it, because we're not. We're like, look, me and my dad were growing up, we were never close. I was never his favorite kid. I was always the one that was always cracking jokes, and it's, you know what I mean, to the point, that's annoying though, right? In my dad's defense, that's fucking annoying when you have a kid around that's constantly cracking jokes all the time, and most of them would bomb. Right? Most of the jokes I would tell people would fucking bomb. There's only so many times as a parent you can go, oh, fucking just shut up. Right? You just want to go shut the fuck up. I've want to do it to my kids. If you ever want to do it to yours, right? We just see them like, yeah, just shut the fuck up. But we were never the closest, right? And I never really had that relationship. Because I wasn't a drinker growing up. I never drank. My brothers did. I was never big into soccer. My brothers were, so they could all talk to him and, they could all talk to him and relate to him, but I had nothing to relate to him with. My sisters are his daughters, right? I mean, if a dad can't get on with his daughters, then there's something wrong there, right? So then it was just me, the middle child, the one who didn't like anything that he liked. So we didn't really get on. No love lost, I don't think, but we just weren't the closest two lads, you know? So I said to my sisters and my brothers, I don't remember which one, I didn't text all of them, but I just sent them a quick text, say, hey, I know I texted the eldest sister, she's not my oldest, but, and I texted her and I said, look, if you get a chance and you're sitting with him over the next few months, I said, just say goodbye. Just say goodbye to him. Tell him what he means to you and just say goodbye. And they were all writing back, ugh, fucking no, fucking ugh. Oh, stop you. So I came back to America. I was up in Connecticut. I had some stuff going on in Connecticut last week. And I arrived on a Monday, checked into my hotel, went to the gym, obviously. I went to see Birds of Prey, the Harley Quinn movie. And then I came out and there was text messages on my text message about, you know, he's not good. He's not good. He's not doing well. And I was like, all right, kind of playing it by, you know, let's calm down. Let's not overreact. And then, so about an hour went by, and I think it was like, let me see what time it was here, because I still have, and I posted this online. Yeah, it was about 11:14 America time. Connecticut time, which I know is the same as Eastern time. But back in Ireland, that's 5 more hours. That's what, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 in the morning. So about an hour went by and I heard nothing. And then here's what I heard. I got this message back. I'm going to read it to you. I put it online, so some of you have seen it already and kind of found it funny, I hope. And it was, he was breathing for about a minute, took a deep breath. Then I think I heard him say, Mick is a prick. Then he died. I thought fucking amazing. I swear to God, I laughed. I laughed like I'd never laughed before. And I don't know if I was laughing relief out of me, if I was laughing pain out of me. Because I've always been that way, right? I've always masked pain with laughter. And I think if there's a comedian out there listening to this, you know exactly what I'm talking. Pretty much every single thing we do, we kind of mask our pain, right? And if we don't mask our own pain, we try to mask other people's pain. And that sounds like we're very high and mighty, but that's just where we're fucking wired. And I just thought, like, it was the funniest thing ever. And so that was it. And then I was thinking, like, what a fucking asshole. Like, he couldn't have died when I was over there, right? Talk about shitty timing, right? Talk about shitty timing. So I got back. So I had to leave Connecticut, call the people, say I couldn't turn up for my stuff. And I came back to Long Island. I booked a ticket. $1,500 fucking dollars for a ticket, by the way, to fly out the next day. Why? Why do airlines do that? Why do fucking airlines do that? Charge me $50. Like, if I didn't buy that ticket, nobody would have bought that ticket. So you would rather have a fucking empty seat than try help somebody out. You pieces of shit airline companies, every fucking one of you. Hashtag Aer Lingus, hashtag fucking JetBlue, American Airlines, Spirit, British Airways, all of you. All of you. For those of you who want to fucking write to me and complain or offer me free shit, right? You're all scumbags to charge that to people in time of bereavement, emergency. Because if anyone wants to nobody goes, I'm just going to jump on a plane and go to Ireland tomorrow. Really? Yeah, why the fuck not? Nobody goes anywhere unless they have to. Anywhere. You pieces of shit. You're taking advantage of people's desperation. I swear to God, if it was a fucking... if they make faster boats, airplanes can fuck off. Airplanes can fuck off. But anyway... And I was just going, well, why the fuck didn't he die? Like the week I was over there, like, right? So the timing sucks, right? So I'm with my son, and my son, talking to him, and he's a little kid, and he's like, a little kid is obsessed with horror movies. And again, this fucking kid is in for it, man. I got to tell him to kind of hold back on the inappropriate jokes, but it was fucking funny. So as soon as I get in, he goes, you sad you got to go back to Ireland again? And I go, yeah, I kind of am. You know, I said, I was over there just like last week. You know, I said, his timing sucks. And my son, without skipping a beat, looked up and he went, "Like your comedy?" You fucking asshole. I thought it was great. Oh, shit. So I went to took a train to the airport, and I remember I told you that story about the train ride, about the two ladies and the chivalry and all that stuff. That was on the way to Ireland. That's why I was in the wrong, because I was being an asshole, because I was just not in the mood to deal with anybody. So, I get to Ireland. My brother picks me up. The funeral was... I got to Ireland on Wednesday morning. The wake was Thursday and the funeral was last Friday. And the way it's done in Ireland is, I don't know if you know, for those who listen in America or other countries, but like, you're supposed to have a wake, and the night before, and the body stays in a room, and it's just like, you know, a little room, and it's, you know, everyone comes in. It's like, I've seen in America, it's kind of like that, and they sign it, and then what happens is, you know, but when I'm in the wake, right, I spent most of the night just fucking, as a family, I don't think we ever laughed as hard. I don't think we ever laughed as hard as we fucking did that night. That whole 2 days of the funeral, of the wake and the funeral. I don't think we did. I mean, I talk about forever. Ever. Right? Every time my mother would come out, I'm like, there's the widow Thomas. Here's widow Thomas now. And I said, Matt, look, you got about 2 weeks. You have to take advantage of this, right? You got to really milk this for 2 weeks. 'Cause after that, nobody gives a shit. She's like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, you know, the neighbor comes in next door. Mr. Gilbert comes in next door. He knocks on her and goes, hey, how you doing? How you feeling? She's like, yeah, not good. You know, these drain pipes are all clogged. He's going to be up on a ladder cleaning out the gutters. So you got to milk it, ma. You got to milk the shit out of it. So, yeah, and it was funny because we were just there, and I so many people who turned up didn't know who I was, because I'd pretty much been missing for 15 years. I've been living in America, so a lot of people, like even aunties and uncles will come in, and then my sister, my older sister, bless her, you know, she was great at just kind of greeting people and stuff, and she was like, and that person's over there, and I was standing there talking to my friend Niall Reck from Graffitia, and people like, that's my brother over there, and Niall like dresses way better than I ever do, so Niall was in his like beautiful suit and coat and scarf and all that shit, and I was dressed nice, don't get me wrong, and then all of a sudden, these guys would come over to Niall and shake his hand. They're like, yeah, I'm so sorry for your loss. And I would just look away like, hey, what the fuck is that? Who's that guy over there? I haven't seen him in a while. And Niall, of course, being the hero that he is, just went like, oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And then they would tell Niall stories about my dad, and he's like, you fucking asshole. But it was weird, and people come up to you in the wake, and here's what I noticed too, like about men, and it's Irish people too, and it's in America, like when they hug, they do that big slap, and it's the winter time, so coats are thicker, so you just hear these like loud slaps, right? It's just all a bunch of like, right? And I just think the louder the slap is like, see, I'm hugging you, but I'm not gay. See that? Just hugging you, I'm not gay. I'm like, all right, relax. It was nice though, and then like so many people came. I guess he was a lot more popular than I thought he was. This one guy came over, and he was really in a bad way. And I said to my sister, I said, "Who's that guy?" And she goes, "That's the owner of Gainer's Pub, which is my dad's local." And I was like, "Yeah, he's fucking taking it worse than we are." I was like, he just built a new extension on his house. He's fucked. But we were just laughing, man. We were laughing so hard. Like at one stage, we were all outside, like all of us, and everyone else was inside with my dad, with his body, and you know, and I was saying, everyone like, I don't want those family, because I've seen that. Like I've worked in banks before where people will come in like, yeah, I'm here to take all the money out of this account, and like, oh, I'm sorry, when did your father pass away? 20 minutes ago. I'm like, you fucking assholes. So I never wanted anything from my dad to remember, you know. Then I thought to myself, he's got a load of soccer jerseys. So many soccer jerseys. And I thought, you know what would be nice? I said, if I just got two of his jerseys that he wore I said, you know what I'll do? I'll get them framed and put them up in my office. I'm like, that's what I'll do. And that just dawned on me right there and then. So I said to me, I said, Ma, listen, how about this, Ma? How about I just go get 2 of his jerseys and put them in a frame? Wouldn't that be nice? Put them in my office, that'd be nice. I mean, Ma goes without thinking, yeah, you should get him to sign them. Fucking weekend at Bernie's. Weekend at Bernie's, his hand out. And then, like, we laughed so hard that everybody who were in the other room with the body were thinking, like, they must have been thinking, like, yeah, he fucking must have had a will. He must have had a will. Like, nobody's that happy at a fucking funeral. He definitely had a will. So, yeah, man, we laughed non-stop, you know, and then we went to then we went out that night and, you know, everyone had a few and then they were trying to plan the funeral for the next morning and my dad was a truck driver. I don't know if you've ever seen European trucks, like they're big. They're really, really like big trucks, not like just these, you know, sometimes you get like a track. They're even bigger than a tractor trailers, as you call them in America, but a big lorry. And there's one guy that my dad used to work with, and he said, look, would you like us? We got a brand new truck in. It's not even registered yet. It's not even licensed. It's not even registered, he said, but it's got it's all black. It's brand new. It's black. It's all, you know. He said, how would you feel about having that go in front of the hearse? And we at the time, like me and my sister were like, my other brothers didn't give a shit. My 2 brothers didn't give a shit, and the other sister didn't give a shit. But me and my other sister were like, that's kind of tacky, Ma. Don't you think, though? And she was like, well, he would have loved that now. And I go, yeah, but Ma, that's his job. Like that was his job. And now you're going to bring his job to his funeral? So I said to my ma, I go, how would you like it if you died and at your funeral we put a washing machine in the front of the hearse? Oh, the fucking slaps I got for that one. I wasn't too big for a slap that day, I tell you. Fuck. But then it was funny because we have to, the way it's done in Ireland, like, we had to take the body, we had to take the coffin from the funeral home, because it's a coffin, not a casket. So if you Google coffin, for those who don't know what the difference between a coffin and a casket, it's very small, it's shaped just like him, it fits in like very, very snug, right? Like Lego, there's no room to move. That's the weird thing about American caskets. Like, your caskets are too big. There's way too much room. Like, what are they going to be doing in there? So my dad's in this coffin, and we had to carry it. And on the coffins in Ireland, if you look at the coffins, there's these handles on the side, right? There's all these big brass handles. So I've never fucking carried a coffin before. Never done it. So we were doing the pallbearers. It was me, my 2 brothers, I think my brother-in-law, and I had 2 uncles in there somewhere along the line. I don't know. And I go to grab it. And the guy, the undertaker, he's like, no, don't grab those. Grab those. I goes, what do you mean, don't grab by the handles? He's like, yeah, don't. I goes, but they're handles. And he's like, yeah, but they're not. They're kind of only for show. So we had to grab under the coffin and then lift it up. So we're walking out, and I'm talking to my brother, and now there's hundreds of people out in the street. Because here's what happens. You got to put the coffin in the hearse, and then the coffin goes from the funeral home to the church, where he stays the night in the church, and we all have to walk behind. The hearse, right? So like 3 miles, if that's what it is. But I think it was only a mile up to the church where the funeral was going to be the next morning. So I'm carrying this out, and there's hundreds of people outside, and there's weeping, and all you can hear, like, there's all silence out of respect. And I just turned to my brother as I'm carrying the coffin. I go, my older brother's like 1 behind me, and we're carrying the coffin, and I go, but did we pay, though, for these handles? Like, we paid extra, right, for these. What's the fucking point of the handles? If that, you know what I mean? Fucking weird. So we're arguing with each other about the price of handles on the coffin, and everybody around is just like fucking crying and weeping. Fucking, you can't use the handles. What's the point in that? Can't use the handles. Fucking waste. This was for decoration. That's for decoration, right? I think Curb Your Enthusiasm did an episode with fruit. It's all fruit there. It's not. You can't eat it though. It's just for decoration. Well, what's the fucking point in having it? So the next day was a beautiful day. all, give or take the fact that it's burying your father, but it was the weather was nice. And someone said, yeah, it was fun. It was funny because it was raining the night of the wake, and we were carrying the coffin, and someone, like, typical fucking Irish saying, rain at a funeral is supposed to be good luck. Really? Good luck? What about the fella in the box there, yeah? You think he is all the fucking good luck? Asshole with your weird fucking sayings. So we went out. We had the funeral. Again, we were up the front row just laughing. It's just cracking jokes, man. Just cracking jokes. And, and I'm very grateful for that. I was very grateful to come from a family, and there's been times in the household where we didn't get on, we did get on, and at that moment, I was very grateful to come from a house that appreciates humor to that level, because I think it saved us all, and everybody was crying, and I didn't cry one tear though, because my son again who's obsessed with death and horror movies. Once I came back and he said to me, he goes, "Did you cry?" Because he'd never been in a funeral, never been in a body before. He's seen whatever he's seen in TV or horror movies. He said, "Did you cry?" And I said, "No." I said, "I didn't cry so others could." And I thought that, and that's a nice saying to come up with on the spot, but it was true. Because I had my moment with my dad. I had my mourning period when I went back, and I had my last conversation with him. That's when it was really hard for me, when I went back. But yeah, so I mean, look, it's now I'm back here again in America, and I'm back to business now, back to making people laugh. Trying to, at least, right? But yeah, I mean, look, all I'll say is, like, if you have someone in your life that's sick, then if you get a chance, just let them know what they mean to you. It'll feel better for you. I know that sounds selfish, and it'll feel better for you, but I just think there'll be regret there that you don't want to carry around with you. And so I came back, and here I am, and and the world keeps turning, right? The world keeps turning, the wheels keep moving, and but I'm glad he's not suffering anymore, and I don't believe in heaven, I don't believe in all that stuff, but like but I hope it's true. I hope it's real, just for him. Just for him, so he has a place to go, right? You just don't want to, like, I don't think I've ever lost anybody really, really, really that close to me, really close like that, to the point where, like, and I just kind of, like I said, I hope it's true. I don't believe in it. It's just the way I am. It's the way I'm wired, from the books I've read and the way I think. I don't believe in the next place to go after this place, but I hope there is one. I hope there is something for him. Anyway, I got nothing else to say on that. Sorry if that brought you down. I hope there was some entertainment value in there, but I wasn't going to mention it. But since so many people responded to the picture I put up of my brother's message, which I read out, and I want to thank everybody, by the way, for the nice messages and comments and texts and phone calls, and that meant a lot to me. So, all right. Hopefully next week I'll back to try being funny. I got nothing to promote. I'm around comic strip a lot in New York City. I got some stuff in Gotham Comedy Club. I'm at McGuire's in Bohemia. I'm at Brokerage in Belmore, Governor's in Levittown, just grinding around. I got a whole bunch of new stuff I'm working on. So come out and see me. Come say hello. But any messages for me, send them to my Instagram at Mick Thomas Comedy. And listen, thanks so much for listening. Thanks for tuning in. And I'll talk to you real soon. All right? Take care. Good luck to you now. Good luck. It's the Mick Thomas Show. Mick Thomas, cheaper than therapy.